We've all had those dreams that just feel like, well, a bunch of random noise, right? But what if they're not? What if night after night, your brain is actually trying to tell you a story? That's what we're diving into today, this idea of a dream trilogy. We're going to look at how a single story can unfold across 3 straight nights of dreams, showing us exactly how our minds are trying to solve our problems, even when we're asleep.
I mean, think about it. We all wake up from those totally bizarre, fragmented dreams and just kind of shake our heads. But what if they're not really fragments? The idea we're exploring here is that maybe, just maybe, a series of dreams can be read just like chapters in a book. A coherent story that your subconscious is writing, complete with a beginning, a middle, and an end.
So, that's our first big idea, treating dreams like an actual story. The core concept, and this comes right out of psychological research, is to look at a sequence of dreams as a trilogy. Think of it like a 3-act play. The first dream sets the stage, introduces the problem. The second one really ramps up the tension. And the third? That's where you get the powerful resolution.
And hey, this isn't just some abstract theory. We're going to walk through a real-deal case study from a scientific paper. It actually follows one person over 3 nights as their dreams tackled a major, real-world professional challenge they were dealing with. So let's dive in and see exactly how their mind pulled it off. All right, so let's get to the evidence. Over 3 nights in a row, this person had 3 really different, kind of unsettling dreams. And at first glance, they look totally random, like they have nothing to do with each other. But I want you to think of them like clues in a mystery we're about to solve. Let's lay them out.
Okay, so night 1, we have the lost exam hall. You know this one, right? That classic anxiety dream where you're desperately looking for a test you're totally gonna fail. Then night 2 is the cliff, a terrifying leap of faith that, weirdly enough, turns into this moment of connection. And finally, night 3, the divided meal. It's just a simple disagreement that ends with the dreamer eating dinner all alone. So yeah, 3 very, very different scenes. But now, let's find that hidden pattern.
All right, it's time to put on our detective hats. We're going to decode this pattern. And just like any good investigation, we're going to start by looking for what these totally different dreams have in common. And believe it or not, the first big clue is right there at the very beginning of each dream.
So here it is, the first major pattern, how each dream starts. Doesn't matter if it's an exam hall, a cliff, or a dinner table, the story always kicks off with a dreamer looking for help from the outside. They're reaching out for some kind of support or validation.
Okay, let's break this down. In dream 1, the exam dream, that's all about wanting external validation, right? Someone else to say you're good enough. Then in dream 2, that feeling of being useless at work, that points to a struggle with hierarchy, with confidence. And in dream 3, asking for help on a project, well, that's a clear need for an intellectual connection. So you see what's happening? It's the same core need for outside help, but it's showing up in 3 totally different costumes.
So, every night the mind is setting the stage in basically the same way. But, and this is where it gets really interesting, from that common starting point, each dream builds to a completely unique crisis point, a moment of maximum tension.
And check out how the tension itself evolves. In the first dream, the crisis is really passive, right? It's just disorientation, being lost in a crowd. But by the second dream, it becomes an active choice, facing that fear and making the jump. And then, in dream number 3, the conflict gets even more sophisticated. It's not about physical risk anymore. It's purely intellectual. It's a disagreement over an idea. It's like the mind is sharpening its focus, refining the problem it's trying to solve.
And this is the most powerful part of the whole story. Because it's not really about the crisis. The real breakthrough, the thing that shows us what's really going on, is the resolution. How the mind chooses to solve the problem each night. That's where the true journey is.
I mean, the journey here is just incredible. Look at this progression. Dream 1 ends with just surrender, giving up, accepting failure, and that brings a sense of relief. But Dream 2, that's a huge leap forward. The solution isn't to give up, it's to find connection, to find empathy with someone else. And then, the final evolution in Dream 3. The mind finds a third way, calm independence. It realizes it doesn't need to surrender or connect to be okay. It can find peace all on its own.
So when you put these 3 endings side by side, you can see it plain as day. The mind isn't just having random nightmares. It's on a very clear, very deliberate journey. It's moving away from all that confusion and toward a final destination.
A mind at peace, See? This whole trilogy, it isn't just a bunch of bad dreams. It's actually a progressive, almost therapeutic process. Over just 3 nights, we've literally watched this person's mind actively work its way towards balance and towards self-reliance.
And this just lays out the entire arc perfectly. Step 1 is surrender. You got to let go of that need for other people's approval. Then, step 2 is connection, realizing that real strength doesn't come from some boss or hierarchy, but from a shared human experience. And then the final step, independence, reaching that place of quiet confidence, of self-sufficiency. It's just a beautiful logical progression, from depending on the outside world to finding strength on the inside.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, the conclusion from the paper is pretty profound. It says that our dreams aren't just like a report card on our past struggles. They're also a forecast, like a blueprint showing how our minds are actively practicing and rehearsing solutions for the problems we haven't even faced yet. So the next time you wake up from some weird dream, maybe don't just brush it off as random brain noise. Your mind could literally be working on tomorrow's problems tonight. It's writing a story, and it's finding its own solutions. The only real question is, are you listening?